Wait, boy. If I didn't get to eat this roti today, I would have sure cried. Cry, boy. I's a big man, though. Men supposed to cry? I wonder if it's safe to cry in front my woman. What women really looking for these days in a man? Are most women happily married or just happy to be married? Talk Heavy Podcast. Yes, and we are live once more right here at Mended Studios. Welcome to the Talk Heavy Podcast, where the vibes is light but the talk is heavy. Of course, I am yours truly, Justice, ready to start something, press the excitement button. And I'm here we're going to have a nice show. We're going to have an excellent discussion. You know, the energy has already been excited already. Excellent discussion. Somebody getting other feedback. Energy has already been okay, right. Right, so, before we jump into the conversation, I just want to introduce some people, but first let me say a special good evening to everyone on the Facebook Live already. All right, gotta say a special good evening to Mr. CEO, visionary founder of Mended Studios, Randall Rodney. Saying good evening, Justice, blessings, Talk Heavy Podcast family. I want to remind you to like, share, comment, interact with us, and of course we really want to hear from you guys out there as well with this conversation. So we're gonna put the number on the screen, so you can give us a call. Also, we introducing you can call us via WhatsApp as well, and you can send your voice notes. Right, so we're gonna hear from you in different avenues. Right, so let me just introduce my guests on the inside. We have Miss Sapphira Lamoth, all the way from the south side. She's joining us via Zoom online. Right, founder of Level Up with Sapphira. So she come to level up the conversation. She was excited before, and she has some stories to give. Right, what's going on, Sapphira? What's up? Think she muted.
Hi everyone.
Yes.
Good evening. And it is so good to be on Talk Heavy Podcast. It's going to get real hot in here soon. So of course, take the opportunity to share the video, invite a friend. We have some stories to tell.
I like your energy, Sapphira. Looking nice. Right? And of course, we have the reigning groovy soca monarch champion, right? Champion of 2020 and continuing. We have college boy Jesse on the inside. What's up, brethren?
Hi, cool man. The talk, what they say about the talk? The talk is what?
The vibes light,
but the talk heavy. But the talk heavy. I like that. Hi, good man. Nice to be here.
Yeah. I ain't seen in a long time. I grew up with this guy, and I could say, couldn't be a stand up.
2 years, I ain't see it.
It's so long?
Oh, cool. It's 2 years.
I think I'll see your brother much more.
Yeah, it's about 2 years.
Hey, I say congratulations on your show, Soca Love Story.
Yes.
That from what I've been seeing, it was excellent. It was excellent.
Fun,
yeah. What was the most difficult part of putting together that whole thing and going through by? Where you'd say?
The pandemic, I mean, all the new restrictions was definitely a challenge in doing events now, in terms of what we can do and what we can't do. That was the greatest challenge. Of course, now we catering to 50% capacity. We catering to fully vaccinated audience. And we know the situation with vaccinations in the country. So that was a challenge too, you know, as a promoter putting on an event during this time. Understanding what the venue allowing you to do. And what you can or can't do, and those are the challenges. So the challenges, right, wrong, especially to just staying healthy, because think about me or the members of the band or the production team not being well. You know, it's like it could throw down everything. Total cancellation. So it was a challenge with just staying healthy and staying focused, staying the course until we get to the day. So yeah.
But thank God things
yeah,
pull off.
definitely.
Nobody
definitely.
in bad poor health or anything.
Yeah.
So we talking about customer service, customer care in Trinidad and in extension internationally as well. And this is one of the things that could make or break, and I would say, an economy.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because if large corporations, if large businesses, aren't prospering, then it could affect the country on a wide scale.
Yeah.
Right? Should people face penalties, harsh penalties, or even be charged for abusing customer service workers? And we've seen scenarios like this a lot. Let me say in Trinidad. You understand? They go to buy a box or something, and you ain't get the breast and wing that you ask for, and sometimes people had a bad day and they trip off and create a scene. You understand? Some people have been actually abused, like customer service reps and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Like generally speaking, what do you think should people face, like penalties and that type of thing, even if you come in a place and use obscene language?
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the culture with us, Let me go down there and I'll cuss up everybody. You understand? Sapphira.
Well, that's actually a very good question. Would it ever be a reality for persons to face penalties, harsh penalties? I don't think so. And we were chatting about this before, that we believe that the buck or the money is more important from the customer rather than defending a right. So if you made an error, which of course we all know, we are humans, we make mistakes, we make errors, you bring the wrong product, according to Jezreel, you pack leg and thigh instead of breast and wing. Instead of understanding that it is a human error, we always want to be right as an individual. We always want to prove that our point is right. So instead of an employer or a manager or supervisor standing to defend the right behavior, they would quicker allow the employee to apologize and put a pressure, I should say, if that's not the correct word. They would quicker allow the employee to face that situation rather than say, no, I am not going to allow this. This is a mistake, And I think that is where we err a little bit, where we give way to all customers. We give way to all clients, and we go with the talk that the customer is always right. Could I change it up and say that the money is always right and not necessarily the customer?
Because the money is always right. Go into that a little more.
Meaning that they prefer the money over the principle, over the ethic value or the right, the moral thing to do is to defend a person. So, we will not tolerate, even if you are displeased, there is a manner in which you go about the entire process. But we don't do that. We want to hush the matter and we say, okay, we're sorry. But so we will allow our co-workers, we would allow our workers to be cussed out. We would allow our workers to be treated unfairly and all of that. Because, well, as we say, money talks.
Money talks. Well, what would you say though to like business owners who say like the customer is always right? It's just a tool to create the right moral, the right approach for their workers towards the customers. So in the event that something happens, their first instinct would be to either de-escalate or provide an alternate option for the customer once they're satisfied to spend their money. Or is it that, we should just eliminate the whole customer is always right notion in totality?
That's a good question, Jezreel. I think that in this day and age where we have so much technology and so many things at our fingertips, even if that is our tagline or that is the approach of the customer is always right, we have to be able, as employees, as supervisors and managers, to be able to balance that statement. We must be able to balance that statement. So even though it is, my co-workers, my employees in the back of their mind must know, you know what? She has my back. He has my back. So even though the customer is right as the forefront, and how can I be solution oriented when we face a problem? I must know that my manager has my back. I must know that my manager is not going to throw me under the bus. That my manager, we're going to fix the problem, but my manager is going to give me an A to hear what my perspective is of the situation or what happened. So I think even though we're putting that to the forefront of our employees' mind, that listen, the customer is always right because they want you to not react, as you say, to de-escalate and to be solution oriented. I must know that my manager has my back at all times.
I understand what you're saying. So you're saying like always have that sense of alliance with your employees as a business owner or manager, I get what you're saying. Jesse, where you think that has come from, boy? Like a person to have the audacity to run up in a place and just go on bad. Just keep on.
I think it's a situation of, to me, it's an energies thing. So if the person in the store, the employee is giving off an attitude, people are going to respond with an attitude. If the employee is very kind and calm and okay, I apologize and I'm going to rectify your situation, or if the employee is trained to deal with it, to deal with proper customer service, that's the next thing too. So the employer have to train their staff, and if the employer didn't play their role in training their staff, then what kind of situation we put in things, you know what I mean? It's like everybody have to fend for themselves. And that creates that kind of situation. So I feel it all boils down to that. Employer's responsibility and the staff being trained enough to deal with situations like that.
Right. But bro, I feel like even if as an employee you try to de-escalate, try to calm, okay?
People just coming.
Yeah.
People sometimes comes into situations with an energy from outside or a scenario or something that upset you from, or past experiences where you probably had the same experience in another store or another, establishment, and you feel like it's a continuum of this system that frustrating you. So you're coming with that energy one time of aggression. So it could be that too.
But that crazy. Yeah, imagine you wake up this morning, you pray, you thank God for waking you up to see a lovely day. The birds chirping outside. You drink your coffee. Yeah. You bathe. You go to work, and a man just come just so and spit in your face or something or cuss you out.
Yeah.
You understand?
And
even if you not wrong.
And then sometimes you two going through situations. So as much as that person coming with that energy, you two going through your personal situations, and that could just be the breaking point. So so it could be, all those kind of clashes now at the same time.
Yeah, boy. But just go and say something, Sapphire.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, do you all think though that enough emphasis is placed on customer service training? We look at it from the external perspective, where we have external customers and clients coming to the business. But do you think enough emphasis is placed on customer service training? So when a situation do arise, we know how to de-escalate, we know how to bring it down, we know how to approach it from a different method, and as Jesse said, bring a different vibe to the situation. So we don't meet fire with fire, and we don't meet attitude with attitude. Do you think that we are trained in that manner?
It have a popular, I don't know if we could call names, but it have a popular establishment where people, it is known for poor customer service.
No names.
And then there's another where I always would experience great customer service. And I don't know if it's because of the type of establishment, it's crazy. It could be the same people that probably work in the one that giving bad and then working in the next one that giving good. But I don't know if it's just the environment or what the brand represents that kind of make people feel like, okay, I need to be,
right,
better at this establishment. So I don't know if employers, if it's something that they stress on a lot, locally in terms of seeing it as priority to ensure that my staff is well trained and know how to handle the scene.
Yeah, I think it are different factors because I personally have been in customer service for about almost 7 years, right? As a profession. And I could say personally I've received intense training.
Wow.
A lot of times, even sometimes we get refresher training and that type of thing. If you can't remember something, they've trained you again, right?
Yeah.
Then again, too, what you mentioned is in terms of locations. In certain locations, you'll get yes, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Are you okay? But the same brand, the same franchise establishment in a different location.
Yeah.
You want ketchup? Slight mustard.
Yeah.
All right.
Whole different kind of
Jasmine, let me get
culture.
Let me get some more chicken for me the back there.
Yeah.
And he in the kitchen knocking, no kind of ambience, no settings or anything. Keep it calm, that type of vibes,
Yeah.
So I think definitely in terms of location, it plays
Wow.
I surely had some experiences before.
Yeah.
You go somewhere in a particular location and get good customer service, and then you go somewhere else and it's a different kind of vibes. So I know you have some stories, Sapphira.
I have too much, but let me give you this one. So, and I will call names.
No
right?
names.
Oh, and somebody say Payless.
Hey,
But
hello.
it's Payless.
Hello. The views and reviews of our guests aren't necessarily those of Mended Studios and the Talk Heavy podcast, right? So just for another disclaimer
Oh
out
my
there.
gosh.
Go
All
ahead.
right, so I wouldn't go with that example. See that the person wrote on that on that.
No. You could go with the example, but let me pretend that you didn't call her name. Go ahead.
Right.
No
So,
restrictions.
I went to this particular shoe store on High Street, San Fernando. And it was Daddy and I and the manageress, of the company. Daddy was talking to her and he was asking some things and she's really, really rude and so on. And I was standing there like, this lady
Insult.
have no customer service, right?
Insult is love.
And when she packed this thing, the whole box and everything just fall apart in it and whatever.
Wow.
So I went up to her and asked her if she had a particular shoe because I saw it on the website, and she said, "We don't carry that brand here. That brand is not for down here people."
Wow.
Excuse?
Down
Wait.
here people.
So
yeah.
I
What she mean?
said, "Down here people where?" She said, "Well, the mall people and street people."
Wow.
And so she said, "Well, I noticed that you all had it in West Mall branch." She said, "Well, it's a different kind of people up there."
Jeez. I wonder what kind of people you is by college.
You understand? Wow.
I wonder what kind of people I is by.
Hey.
Sometimes I could be a mall person.
Well, I mean, we learn now we have to go in the West Mall branch.
Yeah. But the
Yeah, but
mall,
nice stuff.
the mall price might be different too, eh?
Next thing.
Yeah,
to
but
that.
it just goes to show that that's how we actually, that's our belief system, that certain parts of Trinidad and certain areas of Trinidad should receive better customer service or better treatment than another place. So to shop in a mall is more affluent than if I have to go on a street and shop, or I pick it up at the side of the highway. We have these.
But I blame many
notions
companies for that because I look at it from a brand across the board. So if my brand stands for this across the board, regardless of where it is, should represent one thing now, one standard now.
Maintain a
It
standard.
should, so if I'm employing you to work for me, not because you're in a certain part of the country, you're going and anything goes.
Yeah.
And then if I send you You know? So it's like, for instance, this crossed my mind years ago. Airport. So you travel to different parts of the world.
Right.
And well, Miami International, for instance, there are people who work in the restaurants and they're bilingual. And I find that is a big deal, like, because you're dealing with people that flying in from all over the world.
Yeah.
And I thought about Trinidad Airport, and I was like, yo, but then how challenging it's going to be to find
These
employees, and then how you going and pay, because there's a whole different skill now, a skill set that you have to pay for now.
Right.
So I start to think about those standards now, based on where you're working, or because I mean it's a basic need for what the job requires in that environment. So you know.
But is just as we bring up there, I will stick on that a little bit. Is it that we don't have the human resources, or we're not willing to pay the price that comes with it?
Yeah, we ain't willing to pay the price. People, they would accept it as it is. People would. I mean, we have a mentality here where we complain for a day and then we just basically do whatever it is, and we spend our money regardless. Prices will raise. We'll never stand up and say, oh, boycott us, and I'm paying that and that's unfair. Now we quarrel about it on social media for a day, and then tomorrow we go and we pay for it. And that's just who we are. So employers now looking at that for years. Why would I invest in something and that is waste of money? They're not going to take it serious. But in other parts of the world, people protest heavily and they boycott stuff, and the companies now feel the pain. And when they feel the pain now, they say, nah, boy, I really need to invest in this if I want to make money.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you're saying tomorrow they're still going to pay the $2?
Of course.
Of course.
Today they're paying it.
Tomorrow, today.
I can't do it. I can't do it. But let me throw that question there, right? So let me jumping back to like how customers tend to treat servers, customer service personnel.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's a certain sense of entitlement that we as trainees, or let's say Caribbean people, that we feel the need to just go in an establishment and abuse the first person by the front desk.
I don't feel so. I don't feel like it's our attitude. Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like it's the attitude. I feel like we really don't have high expectations to start with customer service. Well, with me, I used to it. I would go into a store and nobody will come to say, you need help, or anything. I used to that. I go and I figure it out, and then I go and I pay for and leave. I used to it. But other parts, you go somewhere else and you have a different experience where people will come and they will, hi, sir, how you doing? Thing? You need help? And they help you. But here we have no expectations. We just go with the flow.
Sapphira?
It's unfortunate that I think it's like a mentality. It's really a mentality. We see only this small world in which we live, whether we are the employee or whether we are the customer.
Right.
So, there are some persons that mightn't just walk into a place and cuss out somebody. We might be irate and say, listen, I want to speak to your manager right now. And even though they may have this stern stance, they're angry, but they're still willing to go through the channels. But as Jesse said, we just really have a low expectation of customer service here, and probably Jazreel is different for you, it's different for me, because we work in companies that invest in training, that invest, they don't put you in a position until they are satisfied that you could take this position and not damage their branding, their reputation, their whole, aesthetic, but everything they do that. So it is not just the external they're looking at. They put you in training so you could deal internally, because obviously we have internal customers as well. How you deal with each other within your company and stuff like that. And I think it may not be as obvious because we give it. So because we give it, we don't look at it. But for somebody who is not in the field and they, like Jesse, you go into a store or you go to KFC or no name calling. Sorry.
Go ahead. Continue. That's all right. Go ahead.
You go wherever. There is not that expectation. You don't go into the store expecting somebody to come in and help you. You just pick it up by yourself and go and pay.
Yeah.
But if you work in the customer industry, you will say, how can I help you? Is there a problem? How can I help you solve this problem or something like that?
Right.
So I think it's different when you come from that customer service background.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you see, I totally understand and agree that it appears that we do have an expectation of what you're explaining, but I don't know about all that, but I find that real embarrassing, boy. That making me feel some type of way by that.
Yeah.
To know that there are people in this country, right, who walk into an establishment and expect to not be assisted.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me,
it's
boy.
it's a sad reality.
Yeah.
Wow.
Let me just touch base with some of our viewers on the Facebook end of things. I want to say good evening to Ronnie Francois, Kerry Phillip, Jillian B. She's out there. She's saying blessed night, everyone. So Ronnie is saying that's the one aspect of customer service, customer to employee, and I agree. But what about customer service within the company, employee to employee? I work with the customer service department, and we depend heavily on feedback from the department within the company. It's draining. You have to beg employees to do their work, and as a result, a customer gets irate. Yeah, that I could understand where Ronnie coming from there, because having to be the one to motivate your peers on your level, and a customer right in front here or in front of that person, not just the person, not just your coworker getting embarrassed, but you getting embarrassed too, because sometimes the customer go watch you and ball. So this wall does this standard all you upholding. I deal with you differently last week. What going on? You know what I mean? So that's a big point. Anthony McLeod, good evening, sir. Via phone, some people explode on customer service reps, ignoring the fact that the person who is taking the complaint isn't the same as the company. Like, I'm not calling those names, right? Sapphira, what you would say to that? How would you respond to that?
Anthony, it's really unfortunate that persons would choose to explode on you. I think what they see that you are the representation of the brand. So whatever that brand is, you are the only thing that's in front, or only person that's in front of them at the moment. It's not the manager, it's not the supervisor, right. It's not the owner of the company. And I think one of the things that I have learned is, don't get emotionally invested in answering a client. Pull yourself back and take it from, how can I help fix this person's problem right now?
Right.
They don't know me. They don't know who I am. They don't know the type of individual I am. They don't know that I am a good person. All they want is their problem fixed. If I could take a step back emotionally and not say, so who he feel he talking to? Let me just give him a piece of my mind, because he needs to take it out. Right? Right? I think we get too emotionally invested because we think that the person is attacking us. It's not you they're attacking. It's really the brand they're attacking. We have to be able to separate ourselves emotionally. That would be my advice if you're in a situation like that. And I have been in many situations like that.
I think there's a lot of merit in that, because, me personally, and I know a lot of people out there might share the same views. Like, if I represent a company or an organization, I, at any given time, while doing so, I am the organization.
Yeah.
Correct.
You understand? I am the company.
Correct.
Total ownership. Yeah.
So whatever it is I say or do, they're not going to say, hey, look, the Rasta man. They're going to say, look, the Amplia man.
Exactly.
You understand?
Exactly.
To the point where there are times that I would call a customer for an update or something, give them an update. And there was one occasion the customer's son answered the phone now. So I say, hi, good afternoon. Can I speak to your mommy, please? Okay. Mommy, look look, the cable man on the phone. Like, that's my identity. No, it's just the cable man now. Like, you understand? So it like customer branding, image, and that type of thing plays a real vital role.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I still feel like, you know, we have a kind of entitlement to, you know, to
money
just
spending.
Yeah.
We want value for every cent.
Is on some occasions, do you guys think that like the customer behavior might be justifiable?
To some extent. I mean, I see it from a value standpoint at times. If you're paying for a service, and it's I mean, hard-earned money, you want exactly what you're paying for. So the excuses from the service provider sometimes at times could be that it could trip you off. You know, it's like I paying for this and I want exactly what I pay for. And I mean that could lead on to all the aggression at times. But I must say, I tested customer service reps before. I'm guilty of doing that with the banks. With the banks. So there were situations where, you know, things were all over the place. And I went like, they are well trained and they deal with the situation real good. And at times I say, let me test and see if this person going to trip off to it. And they handle it very well because, of course, the calls are being recorded. So they manage to really deal with the situation and ensure that the tone is right. And you know, so I am one of the customers at times that could push you just to see how trained you are or how you really handle the situation. But yeah, when you're spending your money, you basically want exactly what you pay for. So I guess that leads to some of the little
and also too for me, well, persons want to feel like they matter. In addition to the money, that when I come into your establishment, I matter. It's not, hold on there now, I'll check your dress now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that. It's,
I on lunch.
I on lunch. It's not like can you hold one moment? I'll be with you in 5 minutes and I'll be sure to assist you in whatever way. It's not that pleasant, polite. It's like struggle. Now we don't have that. We don't carry that brand, and so you could be very dismissive. Your approach, your look, it's not pleasant. It's not approachable. It's not a smile on the face, and you're welcoming. You know, it's attitude, and so as a customer, I agree with Jesse with the money, and also feeling valued. Like I belong here. That, you know what, I want to meet your need. I want to satisfy that need that you have.
Yeah.
I want you to buy this shirt here. I want you to buy this shoes here. Yeah. You know, not just what they could get in the next shop down the road.
Yeah. I want to read a very interesting comment here. Let me read Anthony's comment first. You want entitlement? Check some American customers. Right? CJ, good evening to you. Nice to have you on the inside. She's also saying, it's funny that customers react differently to the same scenarios in Trinidad versus when they are abroad. So we see in a kind of common attachment here with these two comments, right? But funny enough, we have a video I want to show, right? Director, I want to show. So let me go into that video real quick and we go talk some more.
It's shocking video of a customer throwing soup into a restaurant manager's face.
The customer ordered a spicy menudo soup. It's a popular Mexican soup, and she claims that it was so hot it actually melted the top of the takeout container.
The incident happened in Temple, Texas. The manager, 24-year-old Janelle Broland, says the woman first called to complain.
And I, of course, offered her like refunds and was trying to get her either a replacement meal or just something completely different if she wasn't in the mood for soup anymore. And she just continued to yell.
But the customer showed up to confront her in person. Surveillance video shows the customer pointing to the melted plastic lid.
She just still continued to yell, make a scene. It's still cursing with, you know, families and other children in the restaurant. And that's when I said, you know, ma'am, you either need to calm down or leave or I'm going to be calling the police. And I said, ma'am, I can still help you and get you something. I just ask that you don't yell and cuss at me. And that's the moment she threw it at me.
When cooked, soup can reach a temperature in excess of 200 degrees. Fortunately, the soup had cooled down when it was thrown into her face, but she says it still stung.
The warmth of the soup was not enough to really burn me. I mean, as you can see, I have no injuries from that itself, but the spices from the soup are what my eyes were stinging so bad. They were burning, and the spices were all like inside of the top part of my nose, and it caused me to have a nosebleed.
The customer walked out, but she has been identified, and according to social media accounts, she's a nurse at a local hospital.
It's so shocking to watch. If you could speak to her, what would you say to her?
I really don't have anything to say to her. I just kind of really hope that she learns her lesson, that people are not going to tolerate being treated that way ever.
Police are investigating to determine whether charges will be filed.
Right, so that's you should have seen Sapphire face when she saw it. That's a real extreme situation, and so much that it does happen is something that is kind of common, especially in countries like the US.
Nah, I don't feel we so dread here, boy.
You don't feel so?
Nah, boy, for soup, boy.
Yes, we are. I've seen it.
Serious?
Jesse, I see it, but we had videos circulated before in the past with people leap over counter at service reps and thing, dog. You understand? But the crazy thing is, and just as I was saying before, even though you might want to pacify, de-escalate, because the service rep said, okay, would you like me to take it back, give you a refund, change the soup for you? You understand? All of that, but she still felt the need to dash the soup in this woman's face. Yeah. You understand? And later on we learned that she's actually a nurse. So, and nurses have a responsibility to take care of people.
Boy,
you understand?
Out here, boy.
But how that's the thing, but I just always wonder how a person has come to that place. Like you are a nurse.
She trying to help out the hospital. All right, if I burn her, she'll come and pay medical. Let me create some injury here.
That is definitely a theory. That is definitely a theory. But yeah, like, I mean, you're responsible for taking care of people.
Yeah,
and if you notice in the video, she uncovered the soup. So this whole thing, premeditated.
Yeah.
Premeditated.
She was overtime work.
You never know, she might
overtime.
She might leave her card with the security. Okay, she just went. But luckily, the girl didn't receive any extensive burns and whatnot.
Yeah.
But looking at that video, Sapphira, what going through your mind?
All right. So first of all, I can't guarantee, and I have been in customer service, that my reaction is going to be calm and collected, because I believe she would have crossed several lines, especially where, as an individual, you have done everything in your power to de-escalate the situation. So I'm not sure if and I just being real, my response going to be all Christian-like and holy and blessed and say, I go and fly over that counter, right? However, well, that's what I say. But yeah, but I think too, I have seen it here where right in, well, I guess I could call it mall, because it's the mall, right in Trin City Mall, over a little thing of packing the wrong thing. The guy took up the fries and the barbecue chicken and slam it in the lady's face who was serving, and it make a big thing out of it, and I mean, we have to admit that there are times we cross the line, and in this case, this woman just lacked any form of intelligence, any form of emotional control, any form of emotional intelligence to say how, okay, this is what happened. So as Jazreel is right, it's premeditated. You didn't want a solution. You just wanted to be violent.
Right.
Yeah.
That is what I take away from this video. You
Yeah.
just wanted to have your way. You wanted to just throw the soup back. You didn't want to just leave it and walk out. You didn't want a rebate or anything like that. And I think in terms like that, harsh penalties should be brought, charges should be brought, and should never be tolerated by any employer or any brand for customers to be, for workers, employees to be treated as such.
Yeah. In that case, I mean, I support that definitely. In that situation, yeah, I mean, you have to make an example. You have to make an example with that situation. You can't. Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to read this comment here from Anthony, and he kind of hits in the, a different angle of the conversation. How you're brought up as a child has to play into it. As angry as you are, insulting and harming someone else is crossing the line.
Yeah.
What would you guys say to that?
I really like that approach because even in your home foundation have a big part to play with it in terms of even employment. The foundation you get at home, it give you an advantage, it make you coachable, it make you in situations of even learning.
Correct.
Learning customer service. Just a foundation home will give you an edge. So that have a big part to play, and I really like the angle that he brought today. So parents still have a role to play.
Very important. Very important. I want to read a comment on the YouTube side of things from Tehila Rivers. Good evening to you. The only place I am currently aware, or she was talking about the extensive training, is PLS. All right, she's saying that.
Oh, they have extensive training for their staff?
Well, she said that. She's saying that.
Wow,
which is a good thing. It's a plus, right? It's a plus.
Guys, I need to give you all a story. I cannot leave without giving you all the story.
Give me the story.
So I went to this predominant coffee shop, right?
Nice, right? Like we're going with it.
So, of course, I don't know why it's always me and Daddy, but Dad and I went, and he ordered this coffee. The lady made the coffee, and she, when you finish make it, you take the J cloth and she wash out the blender thing, and she wiped down the counter with the J cloth, real clean. And then took the same J cloth, she just wiped the counter and everything, and wiped the rim of the coffee cup.
Oh man.
Yeah, man.
No.
Right? And cover it and brought it to him. What would be your response as a customer? I'll tell you that.
I mean, I would identify same exact thing that she just did. Exactly what she did, I would identify it and then ask a question.
Yeah.
You think that?
So he took her aside. He took her aside and say, I know that he's more approachable and say, I know you may not know, I don't want this cup, but it's really not hygienic to take that thing. She's like, oh, that is a teachable moment there. And she's like, oh, sorry. And she went back and she did it over and she apologized.
He handled it very good.
Situation, that could have escalated real badly on both sides.
Exactly.
But
I have a little pushback. I mean, it kudos to your dad for handling it that way. But my thing is, right, how in your mind, on what planet you could think about doing that, boy? Like, what is your home like? What is your kitchen like? You will wipe a counter and then wipe the rim of a cup and then drink it? Are you okay? Because that would be, to me, that would be my response. Mom, you okay?
That's real. That's because that is how we were growing up. We would not do things like that, but probably she generally doesn't know. We take for granted that people know things,
Nah, man, Sapphira. Nah, man.
No. I agree with what she's saying. Yeah, for real. Some people just don't know because they're just used to that. They grow up home and anything is anything, and they go into the working place and they do the same.
They see it every day, so it's normal behavior, everyday behavior for them.
So you really can't have high expectations of anyone.
Jeez, boy. And that I was saying earlier, that's the most disappointing part. You understand? But, exactly, right? Exactly.
True.
And I always say that, if I was to open a restaurant, eating, area and thing, I want to have like an open kitchen. Let it cost, or even if the physical environment can facilitate that, I would have like a big. I put in business ideas out there, but for free, but anyway, whatever. Or let me make sure and give them a royalties, or just give them a mention. Anyway, I would have like a screen outside for all the customers to view, right? Really, and I would have cameras in the kitchen, right? And I would probably have like different screens per order, per table. You understand? So table 5 would be up in the corner here. You would have a camera 5 panning over the chef. You understand?
Cool. Because that adds to even the chef now will take pride in his work and because
exactly.
you're on camera,
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
it's styling and cutting up them carrots.
And it also has the potential to build morale as well.
I like that.
Because when I is a chef and the customer, this food tasting nice, but they don't know Chef Jones in the back there.
Exactly.
I go come up with myself now and I go say, did you like the order, ma'am?
You
understand?
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah. All just
we waiting to see who thief tonight.
I go remember this day, right? But let me just pause for a quick moment. And we have the ad line up there, so you just pay a quick ad and come back.
Bloody Samaritan, protect my energy from your bad aura. Now my pastor say I be my healer, everything I desire. I go receive my rhythm, flow like a river. If you get your back, come on, go and sit down. I go just para, come on my trigger. I go just stay, follow my dreams. I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm taking dynamite. No, you can't go lie. You know I'm just that type. No. Protect my energy from your bad aura. Now my pastor say I be my healer, everything I desire. I go receive.
On the next Talk Heavy podcast, we'll be kicking back and talking about the customer service industry and its woes. Should people face harsh penalties for abusing customer service workers? Joining us will be the reigning groovy soca monarch king, college boy Jesse, and founder of Be Wired Consultancy and Level Up, Sapphira Lamoth. Don't miss the live stream this Wednesday, 16th March from 7 p.m. on the Mended Studios Facebook page and the Talk Heavy Podcast YouTube channel. Talk Heavy Podcast, where the vibes is light, but the talk is heavy. Yes, and of course, we are here with Sapphira Lamoth and college boy Jesse, and we're talking about the ins and outs, the woes with the customer service in Trinidad and Tobago, and, in the world in general. Let me just touch base with the chat section on Facebook a little bit. Anne-Marie Joseph Jones, special good evening to you. She's saying we had an incident in Castle, Port of Spain, where a customer jumped over the counter and bit a worker so bad and disfigured her forehead. I remember that. Ollie, do you remember that? Yes, that was all over the news. The woman was left with a huge, like a scar on her forehead. I remember that. Wow. CJ is saying how. I think she's talking about the video.
Cup.
How? I will ask Miss Lady how you will wipe. Oh, this is the coffee incident. I will ask Miss Lady how you will wipe the cup with the same cloth. Nah. You cannot be working in food and beverage industry not know these basic things. And that's what I saying. That is what I saying.
So
you understand?
You're blaming here now. I blame the employer too for not creating or being strict on these little details now.
That could be one aspect.
Or it's just that one employee just real hard.
You never know. She probably just worthless, dog.
Worthless.
You understand?
Doing her own thing.
Because
But let me ask a question, guys. You really think, right, that when they say that they provide customer service training, the bigger establishments may have the finances to invest in it, but the smaller establishment, when they say we provide customer service training, do you really think it's intensive, or the supervisor just stands up and say, All right, so you know when you put in the fries in the box, you have to use the tongs. Don't use your hand. And though it's like you just talk it like a routine and they go their way.
Right.
But do you think they really invest and say, okay, this is the proper protocol. These are the don'ts, these are the do's, and have somebody as a guide, as a buddy, a work buddy that can say, okay, this is a new employee, so we act as if he or she knows nothing and we groom them to where we want to be. Do you think they really do that in Trinidad?
Well, I think
when we hire
the last
people,
part of what you just said there is basically the solution. You understand? Have somebody coaching this person for at least a week. Because in normal corporate environments, we have a 6-month probational period where they're still watching you and marking you to see if you could really do this job. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So just as they say, have somebody coaching them continuously. But
evaluations to help,
exactly.
Performance. Appraisal. So every 3-4 months, you have to sit down and know somebody basically looking at your performance to see if you're measuring up all the time or you're just not slacking off. So I think that helps too.
Exactly. Exactly.
I agree.
But do they like smaller businesses and that kind of stuff? Do they? Not really. And that's the problem. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. Everybody else could. If you're entering into a particular industry, into a particular field, be up to par with the standard across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Regardless of the course. What do you think about that?
Yeah. But some people too, you see, taking pride in what you do, and I mean, some people don't. Yeah, some people just. There's a payday that day, you just go out and get these hours done and get out of here.
That is true, boy. And that's
So
that's a real difficult place to be in your life. And I think we've all been there before. I've been there. I wake up in the morning and be like,
these hours just run and get a payday, yeah?
It's 4 o'clock yet, boy. You understand? But Anthony's saying, what y'all think about buffing customer reps? I do cuss, but I just lecture people sometimes. I don't. Because I know Anthony don't use obscene language. Yeah, I don't cuss, but I just lecture people sometimes. Sometimes lecturing a person, depending on the day and who the person is, would be the equivalent to cussing them. You understand? But buffing people, what do you think about that?
Time and place.
When you say buff, what do you mean by buff? Let's just evaluate that word buff.
True.
Is it
true.
I am turned because I may be upset about something?
Right.
Or because, we might each have a different interpretation of the word buff.
Well, let's put our definition straight, right? But Anthony, I want you to call 4699112 via WhatsApp or mobile and give us your definition of what you mean by buff, right? But I don't know if I personally would use the term buff, because the local parlance means to come up from there, quarrel. My remedy, I tend to be assertive, sometimes stern, but I need you to understand that I need this right now because it's very detrimental to what I have to do. I can remember I had a service provider some years ago, and I needed my internet to work. No, because I had stuff to do that was urgent. And this girl telling me, sir, within 48 hours, we will have it. Mom, listen to me.
No.
I had to lament Jed like 3 or 4 times. Listen to me. Until she heard changes in my voice. And then she was like, okay, let me see what I can do for tomorrow. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ended up having to troubleshoot and it came back up later on the night.
Kerry. I love Kerry definition of buff up.
Loud up. Loud up. I don't cuss, boy. CJ saying maybe they train intensively, maybe they don't. But the flip side is, the question is, are they held accountable? What are the repercussions for poor customer service?
Yeah.
Because just as we could want or lobby for repercussions for customers who behave badly, abuse customer service reps. I think it's fair that you have repercussions for employees who give bad customer service, because
Agreed. Agreed.
sometimes employees does it abuse customers, you understand? Because just as Jesse was saying earlier, we see that we don't have the expectation of getting something good. I sure we could all attest to being in a food place, and you see they drop a piece of chicken on the counter and they take it and put it back, and you're thinking, tell she make it over, boy. God, man, I don't want this trouble now. I don't have time for this. What do you think?
You let it slide and you just deal with. Yeah, but
You're
definitely.
you let the chicken slide on the table.
Talk heavy.
Yeah. But you're right. I mean, the employees have to face some kind of thing for. I mean, first time thing you talk to them. Second time, you talk. You see, third time, you continuously providing poor customer service. It's unacceptable. That is misrepresentation of the company. So you're making my company look bad. So I'm sorry, I have to let you go. And I think it should be harsh like that.
Not even a 3 strike.
Well, that's a 3 strike. Yeah, that was it. 3 strike.
Okay,
the first time I talked to
you,
you didn't learn. Second time, shit, come now, man.
Axe.
Third time, I'm sorry, you just didn't cut it.
Yeah. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. So I think we could probably conclude and agree on some level of training on both ends. Of course, it's mandatory that you have training as an employee, you provide the training as a business owner, but you have that training too as an individual judge, as a customer. You understand? I don't know if it is that we have parenting, just as Anthony was saying, it starts from your home to how you was brought up. You have parenting classes or something, and you have a section where it says this module is for treating people who serve you. You understand? And the thing is, we really need to have a certain level of respect for people who serve us. Now, I had this thing some years ago, right? Anywhere I go and buy food, I used to make these women smile, boy. I go in there, I compliment them, I crack some jokes. Extra chicken in my bowl. They're saucing up my pie. You understand? You had to establish good rapport with these people, because you don't go to back there, man. Can say, look the Rasta man.
You understand?
You understand?
Oh, yeah, for real.
Wait, things so far.
It's unfortunate that we feel that we have to do something in order to get good customer service. It shouldn't be that. It should be that this is what I want to provide. But also, I do understand the flip side from a customer. It's good to develop a rapport with the person who is serving you in whatever aspect of it. Because just one day you might have an off day, and because you have a relationship and rapport with them, they may say, "Girl, don't worry about that now." Everybody does have an off day sometimes. So I do agree with that, and it reminds me of this lady that I was dealing with in a financial institution. I had some money to pay, and she's like, "This is her phone call to me. Well, you got a job now, and it's just a little bit of money to pay. So I don't understand the reason why you can't pay it out."
That call wasn't recorded at all.
that was
it.
Oh my God.
I didn't deal with it then. I said okay, but then I had a WhatsApp number, and I sent a very lovely WhatsApp note that her approach isn't right, and you aren't aware of the situation. If I am the sole breadwinner of my home, I'm dealing with this and that and the other and the other. So next time you're saying something, just try to be mindful of everything involved. But it did cross my mind to loud her up, but you know,
Yeah, but I think
Jesus in me.
complaining, like a written complaint, is cut deeper, yeah? Like when it comes to let's say you get poor customer service and you keep your silence, but you write an email to management or whatever it is. That cutting deeper, yeah?
I think
Then you
But
come in
that's
and
on
you make real
record
old
now.
noise. Yeah, that's on record.
That's a record.
I have a comment to that. Let me just read Tahila Rivers' message on Facebook here. I don't think that people don't get training, you know. In jobs, people just get complacent and comfortable. They start taking shortcuts. I like that comment because it's true, you know. And when monotony sets in, you tend to get real complacent and to the point where, all right, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to say hello. I don't need to smile. Yeah, give me you come for? Give me documents. Boom, boom, stamp. No kind of interaction.
Yeah.
You might have started off the first doing that.
Yeah.
But after a while, you're doing something every day, and that's why I think you know, continuous training.
Yeah. Companies that shuffle around things too, yeah. Give you a different role to just you know, keep you fresh or keep you, you know, motivated to do something that's a new challenge and new things. And I think that's something that companies need to do a lot more too because it helps. Because the monotony every day you come here, I'm on, you know, you might feel, you know.
Yeah. So. I like that. I like to be challenged. Me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, if I in a position for quite a while, I would still do what I had to do because in my mind I thinking I have a contract with these people, this company. They expect something from me, but I expect something from them in return.
Yeah.
Have my money by the end of the month, sir. You understand? But still, I have a job to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I like to be challenged. Give me something, give me a new task. Give me a promotion. Wink, wink. Right?
Wink,
I just said, you know? But that I think that plays a vital role as well. Hey, I seeing Mrs. Terry Lamoth on the inside. Good evening to you, ma'am. You know, Sapphira, I would never forget the night I drank pumpkin juice. That was the first time I drank that before. I think your mother made that.
Pumpkin juice.
My mommy make that?
Yes.
Oh,
She go tell you in the comment just now. But I think there was an array of options of juices, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we have the that video. You just wanna jump into one quick video and come back. You're locked on to the Talk Heavy podcast. Is there a nice way to cut off toxic people? Should we even be cutting off toxic people? Do they actually need help? When something is toxic, it's poisonous and worthy of being dumped. How do you spot toxic traits in yourself? Are you willing to admit when you are toxic? Leave a comment below. Let us know what your points of views are, or you can visit us on YouTube, Instagram, and on Facebook. Yes, and of course, on the Talk Heavy podcast, we like to keep the conversations going because you never know. Next 2 weeks, somebody might see, hey, what is this here? And they might have something to say. So, just as the video would have stated, that was our last show talking about, you know, dealing with toxic people, dealing with yourself and your toxic traits. All right, so you can go back to that show. Check out our YouTube page, Talk Heavy Podcast YouTube channel, and our Facebook page on Mended Studios. You can also get all the content there. Also follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're on TikTok now. So you gotta get in the groove with things, you know, you're up with the technology. I ain't that old, but you know. Yeah. So it's just about 2:08 in Trinidad and Tobago. Guys, we're coming down to the closing stages of this edition of the Talk Heavy podcast. But this was a nice conversation. I really love this conversation. It was flowing. And I think there's a lot more to say. But just unavailability of time. All right. But any last, you know, statements, any last, you know, comments all you want to make before we jump out?
Lady Swiss.
Of course, we are gentlemen on the inside here.
Customer service should always be an experience, and a good one at that. I believe that as an employee, we bring that to the table all the time, and it's something that should be innate to us, something that is inherent to us, that this is what we want to do. And to those of us who, because we all are consumers and we all are customers and clients, I want us to take an emotional, okay, I shouldn't say that, but take a step back and think solution oriented rather than anger and
I love that.
being upset. How can I work with this customer service representative to fix the problem that I am having? Yes, I am angry. Yes, I am upset. Yes, I have feelings about this issue, but I want a solution. So do I choose solution or do I choose to vent my emotions? So, I think that's what I would like to leave it down to from the both perspectives.
Yeah, man.
Nice,
Lovely,
man.
lovely. College.
I mean, we were talking about patriotism, off air. And I mean, I must big up all the companies, all the individuals, all the employees who take the responsibility in customer service, in good customer service in Trinidad and Tobago. Because it's a reflection of who we are as a people. We always catering, not just for ourselves, but for people coming in and how they see us. So clappers to companies and individuals who take it serious and represent us well. So yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. For me, I would stick to balance on both ends, but just every day you wake up, just try to endeavor to be a decent human being. To me, that's probably one of the easiest things to do, by.
Yeah.
Even if you're vexed, Jad, just don't go in the establishment. If you know, and that's the next thing, if you know it is a certain quality in a particular place is not for you, don't go. That would actually make the world a better place, Jad.
Avoid it. Totally avoid it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It's a plenty establishments you could patronize, right? Customer service, that's something I'm real passionate about. One of the most important things in business is one of the things that could break your business and could make your business, could put you up there. You understand? It's are people who does be selling soap and oil, like scented oils and that type of thing. But just because they talk to you so nice, but like they actually concerned about who you are, what are your needs, and these type of things. You ain't want the oil, you don't want
support,
it. But just, all right, how much for it? $50? all right, go ahead. Yeah, my boy. Yeah. And you're gone. You'll never forget that person.
Yeah.
And you never know, you might end
the
up.
service to it adds to the value to it.
Yeah.
Kind of service. You don't see the cost, pay because you feel like, okay, you're treated well.
And that's the next thing too, you're learning customer service. In extensive training. You're not necessarily selling a product, you're selling people just buy with their senses.
Exactly.
Typically, and how they feel about you.
Yeah.
You understand? They don't necessarily have to remember your name.
They
don't necessarily have to remember your name, but how you make them feel, after the interaction. Yeah.
Correct.
So this has been a lovely edition of the Talk Heavy podcast. I want to thank Sapphira Lamoth. Sapphira, plug your organization real quick now.
Sure. So guys, you can visit, it's on Facebook. It's new. It came out of my original organization, which is Be Wired Consultancy. So you can actually go onto Facebook and find Level Up with Sapphira. I will tag the page in the comments, but it's just bringing a whole different vibe and a whole different perspective to life. So life doesn't hand you anything. It owes you nothing. When you're in a situation, you have two options. You back down or you level up. Whichever the choice is yours. For me, I will level up. So take the journey with me and let's level up together.
Awesome.
Like that.
Sapphira is my real girl. I like it. Yeah. And guys, you guys could, of course, the International Groovy Soca Monarch King. You can follow him on College Boy Jesse Instagram. Well,
check my concert too. Yeah, check out my live concert. The entire show is on my YouTube channel. Search College Boy Jesse Soca Love Story. And the show is almost 2 hours long. You could see me and all my friends in Soca performing, representing the art form. Always trying to keep it positive on my end always. And yeah, man.
Yeah. That you was talking about patriotism earlier before the show, and that's one of the things I really love with you guys, boy.
Yeah.
Always represent red, white, and black, regardless. Stand up. Yo.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening on the Talk Heavy podcast on Facebook and on Instagram, right? And on YouTube, sorry. Remember to follow us on Instagram and other social media platforms to keep up to date with what's going on, our content, and look out for a lot more from us, right? So this has been the Talk Heavy podcast, another Wednesday edition. We'll be back here with a rerun on Friday, right? And also remember the Nautical Hour every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays from 3 a.m. All right, don't forget that prayer in your life. All right.
Yeah.
We want to leave you with the sounds of the international groovy soca monarch. This is the happy song from College Boy Jesse.
Yeah,
Till
man.
next time, see you then. Goodbye.
They say happiness is the best form of medication. Yes, I've seen tunes healing wounds no prescription could fix. They say happiness is about the journey and not the destination, but I beg to differ. I'm from the happiest nation, and this destination defines it. It's alive in us, survives in us, thrives in us, abides in us. Each beat puts a vibe in us, it can't hide in us. Our soul of calypso, and so the definition is love is, peace is, joy is, happiness is soca music.
Ghosts. So, right now we're in the happy capital of the world. This is Trinidad and Tobago, where happy people are found. Oh gosh. College boy just say, ghost writers, we so happy, happy people. Oh God, nothing could feel good like this. Floating on the clouds like if I don't have no problems. I feel so happy. It's only good vibes we bring that put me on the ceiling. And I just love this feeling. It make me happy. If you wake up in a bad mood, I want you to shake it away. country. I don't worry. God, I feel so happy, so happy. Everybody happy? Yeah! God, I feel so happy. 'Cause I just spoke good sense.